What's up YouTube, Intricate Explorer here today. I am outside of Denver's Millennium Bridge, which is a giant cable bridge in Denver, and I'm about to pan up in a second. But I'm here an hour before sunset, and I'm gonna be doing a sunset shoot of it. The reason I got here a little bit early is because for a lot of my sunset shoots, I've been arriving a little bit late, and for now I wanna have time to be able to walk around, find a good shot, so that when sunset does happen, all I gotta do is click the frame and it's boom, ready to go. So it's actually not very traffic today. It's a Friday evening, and it feels like a lot of the, it's just been like snowing on and off all day, and it's a little bit chilly out, so I feel like all the like touristy crowds that I normally hear aren't going to be overwhelming this place. I feel like this is the least possible time for it to be busy, so let's do it. I'm going to pop a time lapse in right now, and let's kick to it. So this is a pretty cool shot I got going here. Look at that, beautiful. So what I'm gonna do is, what my theory behind this shot is just having that line of that leading up there with all those extension cords, basically just acting as leading lines for me, going right to the point where I want it to be. And I think I'm gonna go stand on that bridge right, that bottom part right there, and pose for the shot. And yeah, let's see what it looks like. Alright, so quick update, it has started raining. So it's been going on and off a little bit all day, but it's like just enough where I'd be a little bit concerned about bringing my camera and lens out to do it, because it's not just like drizzling, it's kind of pouring. So I'm gonna wait it out for like 10 minutes, it's still like a half hour till sunset. I think I might actually bring out my Pixel phone and just walk around, because that thing can just completely water resistant. So I'm gonna walk around with that and see if I can find some cool spots to get a shot. So hopefully when the sun does set, I know there's a ton of clouds right now, but maybe at least get some cool reflection or glow or something somewhere. But we're gonna make it work, we'll figure it out. So right now I'm just under this like awning of this pretty bougie office building. Like, check this out. I wanna go take photos inside there. That looks sick. But yeah, so let's see what we can find. All right guys, so getting down on the ground right here, and I'm gonna get a perspective shot of the DaVita building.
So as you can see, when you get that really wide angle, and especially if you turn it sideways, I'm gonna get this little bad boy in here to show the depth of it, and then turn that back sideways, and then yeah, and it just looks like this towering monster, and with that that pretty cool blue bliss up there, I think I'm gonna pull that color out and just really make it cool, like orange and blue kind of glow on it. So use big objects like this in the forefront to really show off the dimension, and I like using this because it's a line that just leads right to the point. I think this whole expedition today is really good, a lesson in using lines. Just pull the eye towards places using objects that are natural. It's actually starting to ring, so I'm gonna get this shot real fast.
So continuing on that shot, looking for patterns within layers. So you kind of have to like pretend like everything's just meeting at one solid point, even though all those different points are three very different spots across the board. One sec, I got security talking to me. Hey, what's up?
You can't take video here.
Oh, okay, I'm just taking photos. Is that all right?
No.
It's for a class project.
It's a private building, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Well,
you
sorry
can
about
take
that.
pictures over there in the Millennium Bridge.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate it. Alright, so I just got kicked off of shooting under this awning, apparently. So I'm gonna try some other spots. But yeah, what I was saying is you wanna look for patterns within layers. So imagine like all those points are all meeting at one spot on a plane, even though it is 3D. And that allows you to see certain patterns in certain ways and get those different things. And this applies more to like architectural kind of stuff where there's like squares and layers that you're trying to get across the board. All right, so this is kind of a cool shot here, but let's see if I can do this. So if you can see that lamppost right there, I'm gonna try and zoom in a lot, and if you line it up perfectly, it divides those two buildings right there. It almost leads to that point in the center. And since it's warming up right now, it's got this kind of like warm glow inside of it. So I'm gonna zoom in with my long range and try and get that. All right, so one thing I've noticed when you're walking around with multiple lenses, like right now I'm walking around with that 2470 in my backpack here, then also this 7200 millimeter. It's really easy to walk around and just like keep wanting to switch them out for every single shot here and there. Just get really excited, at least I do. But I found it's best to just keep one on for like, say, a session. So for like 20 or 30 minutes of shooting, just stick to one lens and see what you can work with within those creative constraints. Or else you just keep switching them back and forth and it just takes too long if you're popping them back and forth. So like keep one on for a little while, maybe like 20, 30 minutes, and then swap to a new one. That way you get that diversity of shots, and you also get that diversity of lenses. And this is also a good thing I like to do with like B-roll and stuff, because now that I'm trying to capture more like film-esque kind of stuff in video and time lapses and stuff, I try and separate the two. So I'm like, okay, for 20 minutes I'm gonna do B-roll, for 20 minutes I'm gonna shoot with this long range, for 20 minutes I'm gonna shoot with 2470. Because for the last couple times I've been going out, or the first couple times at least when I was carrying all these, I'd be like, fuck, I have so much. I'm like trying to switch all these things and get B-roll shots and also get normal shots, and it just gets overwhelming. So like breaking them down into different sections where you're consciously trying to get certain kinds of shots, it makes it a lot easier on your brain and also a lot easier like physically. You just save time. All right, so for this shot, I'm gonna basically zoom into the point where you literally only can see those little, like right there, that little spot right there. So it's just this pattern of window panes and this, look at that, it looks so fucking futuristic. It literally looks like something out of Blade Runner. I'm pretty sure this building was just built. Wow. So yeah, here's what those photos look like. All right, so I've got some pretty good zoomed in architecture, got some wide angle. Now I want to get at least one reflection shot just because I just feel like I have to, because look at all these, they're so pretty. Yeah, so I'm gonna walk around. It's kind of like I'm playing leapfrog here. Basically like hopping from one dry spot to the next, like I'm in this little awning here, and I just hopped over there. So I'm just going back and forth. I'm pretty sure this is weather sealed, but you know, I don't want to be just walking around with a camera trying to make it bad things happen to it. So yeah, let's see what I can find reflection wise. All right, so I really like this pattern right here. So see how there's the 3 of these? So I'm gonna stop it down real low so I get a blur on each one that gets a little bit stronger. And then as you can see this bike lock right here, I'm gonna put in focus in that red reflection right there to highlight it. And the red's gonna be basically like a line that leads toward it, and it's gonna look dope. So that's actually a pretty good shot right there with the, hard to just capture that right there. But I'm gonna do a zoomed in version of it. All right, so if there's one thing I've learned about photography, it's all about patience and perseverance. And there's a reason that a lot of the older generation participates in photography. It's because you sit around and you wait, and it's all about patience. You're waiting for that perfect shot. So a lot of times you just have to go out and get to these cool spots and wait for these shots to happen. I think I might have security coming up again. Look at that. Hey, how's it going?
How's it going, man?
Need me to shoot somewhere else?
Are you just taking shots across the street, or?
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
Yeah, I know, bro. I was wondering, because I seen you taking pictures over here, too.
Yeah, I'm just going all over the place.
All right, yeah, I'm not trying to bother you. I'm just wondering, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, I appreciate it. All right, so I'm gonna go across the street. Let's see where I can find. Damn, that's 2 in 1. Jesus. Apparently people don't like you standing under their awnings when it's raining out. All right, so 1 second. All right, so I'm at a better spot. So like I was saying before, let me put this on. It's all about perseverance and trying to find those spots where the conditions are perfect, like that, where you know you can't just stand under awnings apparently and security gets pissed. So you really gotta walk around, find the spots where everything looks good, and just take your time with it, and eventually shots will come. So you know, it's good because it's almost meditative. It gives you like an opportunity to think about your thoughts a little bit, to really sync with yourself. I almost find photography to be something that's just relaxing. You know, it puts you in the zone. You're just focused on this one thing and waiting for it to happen. And you know, there's really no rush because at the same time you're doing something. You're waiting to create something. So even just sitting there for a second and having that moment where it's peaceful and you're waiting, you're doing something. And you can't really find that with a lot of fields where you're actively doing something by doing not much. So it's meditative, and I don't know, I feel like art's the same way in a lot of different ways. I was talking to one of my roommates last night, and she does dance, and she was telling me how when she dances, she's had moments where she just feels so close to like almost an orgasmic feeling without any sexual feelings or touching or anything like that involved, just unleashing your creativity. So having done all this art in the past couple months has been something that's, I don't know, it's really made me feel interesting. It's like a cool way to express yourself. And I never really expected that. I always just thought of photography was just taking photos, and drawing was just drawing, and you know, all these art forms. I didn't really realize what art was. So like slowly discovering what that means is, I don't know, it's pretty mind-blowing, and it feels good, and I can't believe I didn't really get into this sooner. Like people, and I think a lot of people do art in different ways. Like some people journal or write, or some people, you know, make films, and some people dance, and you know, some people make speeches. But either way, I think just creating something is a really good form of like almost self-therapy. It helps you process your feelings a little bit better in ways you might not be able to say with words, or even really want to share with other people all the time. But just having that personal stuff is something I really believe in. I'm starting to learn it's a good thing. So if you're new to this and you're watching photography, I just encourage you to try any art form. I know it can be, a lot of people are like, oh, hipster, starving artist, but even just for a hobby, it's just fun, you know? Gets you out there, and it feels better in ways that you won't really expect. So that's my challenge to you, is to create something, because it's going to give you a new perspective on something without really realizing it, whether you want that or not. And I think that's a good thing at the end of the day. So this is the real ending. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. You guys are fucking awesome. It's really cool that people are watching this stuff and commenting and stuff. So drop me a like, subscribe. Got more videos on the way. Thanks for watching. Peace.